Hey mama, do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stay patient with your kids, especially when things don't go your way? Do you find yourself thinking thoughts like, nothing ever goes the way that I planned? My kids are doing this on purpose just to push my buttons. Or maybe I'm the worst mom. Why can't I just get it together like other moms? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I used to live there too. The constant negative thinking and defeated attitude used to keep me stuck in the cycles of feeling really upset when things did not go my way, talking to my family in an ugly tone, and all of that led to frustration, shame, and guilt. But here's the truth. The Bible says to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means change doesn't start with your circumstances. It starts with your thoughts. And that's exactly why I created the Renewed Mindset course for Christian moms, a 5-week self-paced course designed to help you take your negative thoughts captive and renew your mind with life-giving biblical truth so you can finally show up with patience, calm, and Christ-like compassion even when your kids are testing your limits. This course officially releases in January, but I have some exciting news. It's available for pre-sale right now, and when you grab it during pre-sale, you will get it at the lowest price it will ever be. Plus, you'll get instant access to special bonuses, 4 positive motherhood affirmation recordings created to help you start shifting your mindset today. These recordings will help you begin seeing motherhood through faith-filled, life-giving lens even before the full course releases. And if you want deeper support and accountability, you'll also have an option to upgrade to live coaching walkthrough in January, where I will personally guide you through the course week by week, answering your questions and help you actually follow through so it doesn't just sit in your inbox. Mama, this course was created for the mom who is tired of feeling stuck in the negativity. The mom who loves her kids deeply but wrestles with her thoughts, her attitudes, and her reactions. The mom who feels frustrated by her harsh tone, catches herself blaming her kids for her yelling, holds unrealistic expectations of herself and her children, and believes that everything has to be just right in order for her to stay calm. Deep down, she longs for change, to become the kind of woman who thinks from an empowered, faith-filled perspective, looks for the good in her family, and can be adaptive to the circumstances that she is given. If you're ready to renew your mind, respond with patience, and walk in peace no matter what the day brings, this is your next step. Pre-sale for the Renewed Mindset course is open right now. The price will be going up in December, so grab it while it's at the lowest price ever and start your journey towards renewed, life-giving mindset today. You can find the link in the show notes. Hey friends, today I want to share with you a story that happened just recently, last week, as the time of this recording. And I want to share with you how the mindset work that I've been implementing, how that allowed me to show up as the mom that I want to be in a very challenging day with my kids. There's going to be multiple scenarios that were challenging, and in all those scenarios, mindset work was super significant. I teach in my Calm Christian Mom signature coaching program. I teach ways to proactively lower your stress levels, set healthy habits and routines, calm your nervous system proactively, so then you have more capacity to begin with to handle things that don't go your way. Then I teach you how to deal with your emotions and regulate your emotions in the moment. And then I teach you mindset work. And so today I'll be focusing on mindset work. Right now, I'm doing pre-sale for my Renewed Mindset course. So the Renewed Mindset course is coming from my signature coaching program. It is lessons that are literally pulled out of the signature coaching program, everything that has to do with mindset, and it's going to be put in its own separate course that you can purchase separately. Right now, I'm going to be sharing with you that in January of 2026, I will be doing a live walkthrough of that Renewed Mindset course. Here's the thing with courses. Studies have shown a majority of the people buy them and do not go through them. And I don't want that for you. If you choose to enroll into a course, I actually want you to follow through and go through it and see the positive changes and implement the things that you are learning. And so I'm offering a live walkthrough where every week for 5 weeks, the length of the course, I will be doing a group coaching call, and I will be coaching you on the topics that were covered that week and answering your questions. It's going to be live Q&A, group of women that are going through this course all at the same time. I really want to support you in the best way that I can, and this is a really an affordable way compared to my signature coaching program, Calm Christian Mom, who is for a desperate mom that struggles with complete out of control anger. The mindset produce your feelings, and feelings produce your actions. And I will be covering that in the Renewed Mindset course. And if you struggle with just negative attitude, you have a really hard time being adaptive to the circumstances that you're given. When something doesn't go your way, you feel super frustrated. You have tendencies to want to control things that are out of your control. This course is for you. And so the link is in the show note to sign up for the Renewed Mindset course. Right now in November, it is going to be literally at the lowest price it will ever be. The price is going to go up in December. I want you to be part of this. Join. The link to sign up is in the show notes. All right, so let's get into my story that I will be sharing with you. My husband was out of town all last week, and he left on Monday in the morning after the kids left to school, and then he was supposed to come back on Friday afternoon, and it would have been me and the kids all week long. And I was already mentally preparing. I mean, we found out Sunday that he's leaving on Monday, so it wasn't super heads up. And I was mentally preparing for the week. The hard part was that is the days right before my menstrual cycle. And if you've heard me share on the podcast before, kind of like behind the scenes, I always have like a few days that feel really hard and heavy. I feel overwhelmed more easily. I feel like my capacity is lower. I really need to slow down and just take things easier. And it's a little bit tricky when you don't have that extra set of hands when you're used to having a husband that is really helpful in the evening with the kids. Well, anyways, my husband left, and our daughter, who almost 4.5, she is really attached to her daddy. Like, she adores her dad. She absolutely loves him so much. And she was having a really, really hard time with him leaving. On day 2, my kids had no school that day, and it was Veterans Day, so they all stayed home. And there was a lot of frustrating moments that day. It started out with, I had a coaching call at 9 a.m. and I had breakfast ready for the kids, and I turned on a show for them. And my son, who's 8 years old, took his pancakes and syrup plate to the living room, put it on a stool, and then he was going to put like a little chair that he could sit on and eat the pancakes while he watches the show. And our rule is that we eat only in the kitchen. Well, by the time I noticed, what happened is that my daughter accidentally bumped that plate and syrup spilled all over the floor. And this was 5 minutes before I was going to get on the coaching call with my client. And so I messaged my client and I said, hey, I'm going to hop on 10 minutes late because my kids accidentally spilled syrup and I want to clean it up. Here's the thing. I don't have to clean it up. I want to clean it up. That's the mindset shift. I can leave it on the rug and let it just be there. And then kids step over it or the dog get to it. I actually want my rug cleaned. And so I want to clean it up. And that already is a mindset shift in my mind that I don't have to do it. I don't need to do it. I choose to do it and I want to do it. When you say I want to, that sounds inviting and it feels inviting versus I have to. I have to has pressure attached to it. So I get on the call, have my coaching call with my client, and then a little bit later, one of my boys finds one can of soda somehow hidden in the cupboards. And he's like, Mom, can I have soda? And I said, well, if you divide it between all the 4 kids. And so he did. He had all the same cups for everybody or glasses. And they were arguing how exactly the same exact measurements. Oh my goodness. that was its own thing. And then my daughter got her soda and accidentally spilled it on the cloth kitchen chair, a dining chair, and all over the floor. Well, that was also a frustrating moment, right? Where it's really easy to lose your cool with the kids. And my perspective shift in that moment was I took a deep breath, and it was, I've done that too. I've done that too. There was a time where I accidentally spilled something on the floor. She's not doing this to upset me. It just happened. Okay? If I have the mindset, she's doing this to make my day hard, now I have more work to clean up, that will produce more frustration versus, you know what? I've done that too. I've done that too. That's the mindset shift that helped me remain calm and grounded in that moment. So I gave her paper towels to clean it up. And then, yes, I took a wet paper towel and wiped the rest because, yes, part of me, I chose to clean up the rest. I didn't have to clean up the rest. I could have left the floor sticky, but I chose to clean up. And that was a really hard thing that I had to learn over time. Like, I always felt like my kids made me do stuff. I had to do stuff. No, I choose to do it. It's an intentional choice. And when you feel like you have to do stuff, you feel resentful and bitter versus I choose to do it. And then half an hour later, I was putting together my sourdough and I invited my daughter to help me in the kitchen because the boys were playing outside in the trampoline and invited her to help me. And she did. She was helping me with the sourdough and she was putting in the flour and she accidentally spilled some on the floor, which could have easily been like, oh, seriously, why? Come on. Why does this always happen when you help me? Right? And instead, I took a deep breath and I said, well, this is her chance to clean up when she made a mess. This happened, an accident. I've done that too. And this is her chance to clean up. I told her to grab the little vacuum. I said, uh-oh, how did that happen? Now we got to clean it up. And I told her to take the little vacuum, a handheld vacuum, and to vacuum it up. And she did. All right. Because I did not shame her. I did not make her feel bad for doing that. It just happened. There were other hard moments throughout the day with like kids and big emotions. And the biggest thing I want to share with you is that the evening was the hardest. And you know, as a mom, like the evenings are typically the hardest when it's time to put the kids to bed and the kids are not necessarily cooperating and it feels tricky and it feels overwhelming. You feel tired and things feel frustrating. Let me share with you what happened. So it was time to put my daughter to bed and she was having a really hard time because she's attached to her daddy and he has created a rhythm, evening routine with her where I get her ready for bed and then he sits in the room with her as she falls asleep. She has a nice rocking chair that we got when she was a baby and he sits in that chair while she falls asleep. It started out with her coming out saying she feels scared and she wants dad to be there. And it just became like a rhythm for at least the past half a year, for sure, if not more. I think it was actually when we transitioned from the crib to a toddler bed, because before that, the crib had like a crib tent. If you know what I'm talking about, it's like a mesh tent that you put your kiddo in there and then it's see-through, but you zip it up so they can't get out. And so she was 3.5 and she ripped through that. And so it was time to transition to a toddler bed. So we put her in a toddler bed. And then after that, she kept coming out of her room saying that she feels scared. And I think that's when the transition happened where my husband would sit with her. And it kind of became like a thing. He just sits there while she falls asleep. And so the first day when I actually put her to bed without him, somehow she fell asleep without much resistance. But on day 2, she was having a really hard time and she was missing him. And she kept saying that she missed dad all throughout the day and would have like random moments throughout the day where she would cry and say, I miss dad. I wish dad was here. And so the evening was definitely hard. I would put her to bed at 8 and she kept coming out saying that she missed her dad. I wanted to put her to bed and then go clean up the kitchen and put my boys to bed because my boys were still awake and do the night routine, get them. I mean, they obviously get ready for bed themselves, but you know, kids get distracted and they start getting into arguments, all the things. Somebody typically needs to be there to monitor them. And I wanted to get out and get the boys ready for bed. And then at one point I came out and I went to the kitchen and I started to fold the sourdough because I wanted to put that in the fridge, before I did the rest of the routine with the boys, and she came out. And she she saw me there, and then she came around the corner, and there's a bench with all our shoes. And she decided to take them all down because she was feeling really sad that Dad wasn't there. And that was her way of expressing, like, hey, I feel upset. She took all the shoes off the shelf. She didn't throw them around or anything, but she just took them all off. And that obviously, I came around the corner and I saw that, and that felt really frustrating. I came up, I took a deep breath. Jesus, please help me. This feels really hard. And I exhaled, Jesus, please help me. This feels really hard. She's having a hard time. And that is her way to express that she's feeling sad and that she misses her dad. So that allowed me in that moment to stay regulated and calm and let that frustration out instead of raising my voice and yelling at her. That was like an example of me regulating myself in the moment when things felt frustrating. And I told myself, this feels really frustrating. I literally said that to myself. This feels really frustrating that she took the shoes off the shelf. When I took those deep breaths, my son came up to me and he heard me take the deep breaths. And he's like, Mom, what's wrong? And I told him, I feel frustrated. There's nothing wrong with feeling frustrated when there's a frustrating circumstance, right? You say, I feel frustrated and I'm taking deep breaths to calm myself down. I am modeling to my kids what to do when they feel frustrated, when something isn't going their way. What I wanted was my daughter to go to bed quietly without any resistance, and obviously that was not happening. So I took her back to her room and I said, do you want to FaceTime Daddy? And she did. And he said goodnight, and then she started crying because she misses her dad. I tried again, putting her to bed, kissing her and comforting her, and then about to leave her bedroom. And again, she started to follow me out of her room, and I started to feel frustrated. I really wanted to go finish cleaning the kitchen and get the boys ready for bed. And here's my negative thoughts that started to creep in that moment. She should stay in her bed. She is making my evening hard. She's wasting my time. Why is she doing this to me? That was my automatic negative thought that was going through my mind. I caught that thought. I recognized what I was thinking in that moment. She's wasting my time. I have a big thing with time. I don't like having my time being wasted, especially when I'm trying to focus and do something. And so that thought comes up a lot, the automatic negative thought. She's wasting my time. She's doing this to me. She's making my evening hard. She should stay in bed. And that thought was not serving me. That was actually starting to produce frustration in me and some resentment and bitterness because I was not getting what I want, what I thought I should get. So I led her back to her room. I tucked her into bed and I kissed her. I hugged her. And I decided, you know what? What if I shift my perspective right now? I decided, you know what? Those thoughts are not serving me. Instead of expecting her to stay in her room, I expect her to come out because she's already doing it. What if I shift my perspective that she's having a hard time, she misses her dad, and that's why she keeps coming out. She's used to a different routine with her dad being there with her every night. I can last 1 minute longer. Jesus, please help me. I can make time for this. I can comfort her. I will choose to slow down and sit with her. I can be her comfort and safe space. Literally, that's the mindset that I chose to have. Those are a lot of things. I expect her to come out because she's having a hard time. She is used to a different routine. That is more true than she should stay in there. I can last 1 minute longer. Jesus, please help me. I can make time for this. I can comfort her. I can choose to slow down and sit with her and be her safe space. Listen, what I was doing wasn't working. putting her to bed and leaving the bedroom, trying to do the evening routine with the boys and cleaning up the kitchen, she kept coming out. Okay, what I was doing was not working. I had a choice to make. I could continue to do what I'm doing. I could raise my voice. I could be rough. I could be harsh. I could be unkind, which does not align with the mom that I want to be and is not honoring the Lord. All right. Or I could do something different. So this is what I chose. I chose to slow down and sit in her room until she falls asleep and decide, you know what, let the boys watch a show a little bit longer while I get her to bed. So I sat down on that chair, on the rocking chair, and instead of laying in bed, she crawled into my lap and she fell asleep within 1 minute. 1 minute. She was feeling exhausted. She missed her dad and she fell asleep really quickly. And you know what? I felt teary. It was a hard evening and there were hard moments throughout the day, and I handled them well because of my mindset, because of the things that I chose to think. It started with the maple syrups being spilled on the rug minutes before my client, soda spilled on the floor and on the cloth chair, flour spilled in the kitchen floor, all by the toddler, okay? Multiple emotional explosions by the boys and my daughter, resistance, arguing, kids not listening, not doing the chores right away. And even through all of that, I was able to remain calm and grounded and a safe space for my kids. I finished that day well. It felt like such a good feeling to show up as the mom that you want to be, even on the hard day. I showed up in a way that I'm proud of. And my mindset coach, Tessa, she said this the other day. She's like, your hardest moments can become the highlights of your day because of the way that you handle them. And I thought, oh, you know what? That is so well said. Your hardest moments can become the highlight of your day because of the way that you handled it. And I want that for you. I seriously want that for you. And actually, I'm going to play a small recording right now of one of my clients from the Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program. So she is in the 12-week intensive Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program that is designed for Christian moms that struggle with out of control anger and need that hand holding. So I have 2 ways to work with me right now. The Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program is for the mama that needs the intensive hand holding, that step-by-step process, somebody to keep her accountable, to help her follow through, ask questions, weekly coaching calls, Monday through Friday access to me. You need that support and accountability. You feel lost, confused, and you don't know what your next steps are in your out of control anger. And then Renewed Mindset course is for the mama that she's not struggling with anger severely, but definitely lots of frustration and reactivity, not handling things the way she wants to, negative attitude, and she wants to shift her mindset to feel more empowered, lighthearted, and positive. Then the Renewed Mindset course is for her. Now, my client is from the Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program, and I asked for her permission to share this little clip. And she shared a win with me on the coaching call today, actually, about how she handled a hard moment. And it was early in the morning where her baby woke up and the baby was crying. And the mindset shift that she used, which is something I just shared with you, and how that positively influenced the way that she handled it. And her also sharing that her husband noticed positive changes halfway through the program. She's 6 weeks in and her husband already noticed positive changes, and that the way that she handles her emotions, and he complimented her. So I'm going to play that recording for you.
Lucy was up like middle of the night, and I was really annoyed and frustrated with her, like sitting in the rocking chair trying to get her to go back to sleep. And I had the thought, your hard moments can be your highlights. And I was like, I can choose to handle this well and then like be proud of how I handled it. Or I can just be mad the rest of the night and not sleep well. And then in the morning have to be like, I was so mad and she wouldn't go to sleep. And that really helped a lot. So be able to like catch that before you get too far down the road of wanting to be mad about it.
How are you feeling about yourself as a mom right now? Is it better than 6 weeks ago?
Yes, for sure. My husband and I were kind of talking about this last night, just like what what changes have like each of us noticed. And he said that I'm definitely slower to anger. And when I do get angry, I let it go a lot faster. Like I don't let it spill over into the next day and things like that, which I think is both of those things I think are true. That I feel like before I would get really upset and do or say something that you didn't want to do. And then it was just like dwelling on that, feeling guilty about that, feeling ashamed of that. And it spiraled into all of these other emotions. And it became like this long-term thing. And now I feel like I can have a moment like that maybe, but be like, okay, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but it's not defining who I am. And it's just been easier to like move past that. It feels less of like a burden that I then have to keep carrying that like, why did I do that thing? Something that I can recognize like, oh, well, I did that thing because I was really hungry and Lucy was yelling at me and I got overwhelmed. And then I can like move on from that instead of being like, ugh, what was wrong with me?
My friend, if you need support, all right, if you want support with specifically mindset, you want to learn just about the mindset piece, okay, the Renewed Mindset course is for you. It's a fraction of the cost of the Calm Christian Mom coaching program. If you need that hand holding, if you bought passive courses and you're like, you know what, I don't finish them, I do not follow through, I need somebody to guide me step by step, I need that accountability support, other women that walk alongside me with me working on this together. I need the one-on-one coaching. I need access to Elizabeth. Then Calm Christian Mom coaching program is for you. This is for mama that struggles with intensive out of control anger. It's destructive. It's ruining her relationship with her kids. The kids are scared of her. She cries at the end of the night because of the way that she handles things poorly. So I am going to put both of the links in the show notes for Calm Christian Mom and the Renewed Mindset course. And I cannot wait, my friend, to connect with you. I want to support you in a deeper capacity. And if that's what you need, there's a way for us to work together. The links are in the show notes. Until next time. Hey mama, before you go, don't forget that the Renewed Mindset course for Christian moms is officially on pre-sale right now. This 5-week self-paced course helps you rewire your negative thoughts and renew your mind with biblical truth so you can show up with more calm, patience, and Christ-like peace in motherhood instead of blaming, complaining, and having a sour attitude when things do not go your way. When you grab it during the pre-sale, you will get it at the lowest price it will ever be, plus immediate access to 4 positive motherhood affirmation audios that help you rewire your brain when you feel negative about motherhood, when you feel guilty for taking time for yourself, when you had a hard day as a mom, and faith-filled motherhood affirmations will help you start shifting your mindset right away. And if you want extra support, you can also upgrade to the live coaching walkthrough happening in January. I will help you stay accountable and walk you step by step through the course and answer any questions. The price goes up in December, so don't wait. Tap the link in the show notes and grab your spot, the Renewed Mindset course today.